We arrived pretty late into Porcupine Gorge Pyramid Campground yesterday. And then when we got here, we had no power, 12 volt power. So we spent like an hour trying to figure out what was going on. Had dinner and then pretty much went to bed because we were wrecked. It was a massive day of driving, and then to come back to have problems, it was really frustrating. Things that went wrong yesterday on a dirt road that wasn't very corrugated at all, it was like a basic dirt road, really pushed us yesterday in terms of the caravan. So yeah, so anyway, so we actually came here to do the gorge walk and stuff, but because we've looked again this morning, still no power, can't fix it, can't work out what's wrong. Daniel's pretty cluey with that stuff in terms of fault finding it, and he can't figure it out, so we have to continue on without doing the gorge here, which is a bummer, but we will try and come back again and do it as part of our dinosaur trail stuff. It's not that far from Hughenden, so we'll try and come back or something. I don't know how we're going to work it out. Who knows what's going to happen with the power at this stage. So yeah, so anyway, we're off to Hughenden and try and fix this problem of ours. So we drove to Hughenden and we just got charged $50 for him to look at the battery on the caravan, tell us there was a broken wire inside. Then you'll then fix the wire and we're good to go. Anyway, so now we're just working out what we're going to do, where we're going to go, and stuff like that, because we're a bit out of sorts. Like we were just a bit like, well, that was all a bit chaotic. So anyway, might go over to the information centre now and figure out what we want to do from here. At the information centre at Hughenden, they have a dinosaur museum. It's $5.50 per adult. Children from 5 up to 17 are charged $2.50. And this is it. It's a nice big thing. You walk into and get greeted by a Matabasaurus. Barosaurus.
Awesome. It's really cool.
It's cool, hey?
Yeah, I think there's a pterodactyl in.
Hughenden has an RV camp, which is a donation camp next to the showgrounds. So it's like, you know, obviously being a donation, pay what you want, etc. And it is actually really good. It is pretty much like a gravel pit with a bit of patchy grass and stuff, but the location of the facilities are awesome. Okay, so it's got a dump point. It's got self-registration, so you don't have to go and see anybody about camping here or be around for a certain person to come to you. There's rubbish bins and recycling. There's basically pick your own spot. Water taps with potable water. A bit of a camp shelter with a sink for you to use as well. It's got a clothesline as well. So if you've done your washing, you can hang out on the clothesline. And across the road is the lake. The location of town is great. You can walk straight into town and go to the bakery, go to the little RGA Foodworks thing that's in there, go to cafes, information centre. It's all like walking distance if you wish. So it's really good. You do need to be completely self-contained, including your grey water. It cannot be let onto the ground. You have to collect it and dump it into the dump point. And you have to have your own bathrooms and stuff as well. So that's part of the rules. We have seen the caretaker come by and check in. Hasn't actually spoke to anyone, but he has checked in every day that we've been here. So you definitely don't try and go skirting the rules or anything. Because they do check in, and you've got to do the right thing, so these things exist for everyone, because they're great. They're so great. Storm's just about to roll in. But yeah, we love little free camps like this. Hughenden, you've got the goods, I tell you. The new lake dam that's been built is really cool. It's straight across the road from the free RV camp, and it's got a swimming area as well as a boating, kayaking, jet skiing area. It's got toilets, an outdoor rinse cold shower, picnic tables, barbecues, dog poo bags and rubbish bins, and a playground. It's got a waterfall type thing to keep the water moving in the lake, and it's got a jetty for fishing as well. It's got everything. It's great. Green grass around the outside as well, and I don't think I can complain. It's nice to cool off. Don't think there's anything else. Just be careful of prickles in the grass. Wear your thongs all the way down to the water, and it is a bit like grassy, seaweedy, algae-ish in the lake. So we didn't put our faces in because it's a bit gross, but it's still nice to cool off and float around in. Yeah. Anyway, back for lunch. Dinner tonight. What do we got?
Chicken set sauce Caesar salad.
Yeah, it looks great.
Thank you.
Yum, yum, yum.
Oh, how good are suspension seats? You don't really notice them when you're driving on like decent roads. You don't really notice the suspension seats doing much. Even like dirt roads and stuff, you don't really notice too much. But you get on a road like this in the outback, and the road trains just destroy it. They put this big like up and down whoops in the road, and suspension seat just smooths them out so nicely. And yeah, these are stock on the Iveco Daily 4x4s. One of the reasons that we chose it because you didn't have to spend a bunch of money upgrading the comfort of the vehicle like you would with an MPS or a Canter. Because they got shocking rides on them out the factory. Yeah. Suspension seats. Thumbs up. What do you reckon, Amanda?
Yeah. I like it. I haven't experienced much else, but I like it. We are taking the day trip to Richmond today to do the dinosaur stuff in the Richmond area. It's about 113 k's one way, so it's a big day trip, but for our plans we can't really, it's kind of out of the way, so it's like towing the caravan to camp overnight to do it or just do the day trip. So we've just decided to do the day trip from Hughenden out, and then we'll go back, and then we're going to head south from there to Winton. So yeah, it was a bit of an awkward one to try and fit this one in, so it's unusual for us to do such a large day trip. But I really wanted to come and see it, so let's go.
It's got like glue beads called paraloid in it. It's an acetone, and the acetone dissolves the glue.
Okay.
So when you put it on the fossil, the acetone draws the glue in, and the acetone evaporates and leaves the glue behind.
Yeah, right.
Which consolidates. It doesn't turn into rock, but hardens them.
What have you got there? What is it?
Remember.
A vertebrae?
It's a vertebrae
So it's a backbone. You said
from a dinosaur.
The vertebrae from a dinosaur out of the back.
out of their back. That's right, good job. And it was an ichthyosaur, right?
Yep.
An ichthyosaur.
Can you say ichthyosaur?
Ichthyosaur.
Good job.
Good try. That's pretty cool,
What
isn't
else?
it?
What's Dad got in
And
his
what's
hand?
this?
A tooth.
A tooth from
From the
an
ichthyosaur.
ichthyosaur too.
Yeah.
Isn't that
Just
cool?
found yesterday. Uncovered yesterday.
And lucky Aria has been offered to keep it.
It's
Yes,
so
you can
lucky.
Keep a dinosaur tooth
And I've got a place to put it. Stop.
in your pocket. That's what your pocket's for. To collect special things. Is it going to go in?
Yep.
Perfect.
Alright, we just finished at Kronosaurus Korner
Amazing.
in Richmond. Epic.
Like,
Really cool. I
Amazing.
mean, we did get a VVIP tour.
we did. We did. But I think that they do definitely try and incorporate extra
They do
little
care.
things.
They really care. Yeah.
They do. Like the video that you watch, unbelievably well done and so informative.
11 minutes. It's perfect length of time for kids.
Yeah, and then the amount of amazing fossils that they have in there is unreal, and they're all real, actual real
Everything's
fossils
real.
found in this area.
Not replicas. They're just the real thing.
Yeah, like
And they've even got the laboratory there. They're like literally still every day they're in there like
exposing and preserving
more rock
and
yeah.
So we met Kevin and he showed us around like inside as well, and then we actually met Rob who founded the museum and actually found the first
big fossil,
most complete fossil in this area, and it was amazing. There he goes now. It was
Anyway, I'm hot. I'm getting burnt.
I just want to say one thing. Like, it blew my mind heaps more than what I expected.
Yeah.
It was like a million times better than I expected.
Agreed.
So yeah, this one, put it on the list. It's so worth it.
Yep.
Just down the road, just like a couple of minutes, a few hundred meters, is a park, reserve, playground, day use area. It's got the lake for swimming. And kayaking and all that sort of stuff. There's a splash park which is Kronosaurus themed, which is really cute and cool. Picnic area like with tables and barbecues. There's a playground, toilets, all that sort of stuff. Grassed area to run around for the kids. And so yeah, we've just stopped for lunch here, made a picnic and enjoyed the views. The splash park's not working today. Apparently they're treating the water or they're doing something with it, so it's not working, which is a bummer. It would have been nice to cool off in the splash park, but that's okay. We've got air conditioning in the truck on the way back. But yeah, definitely plan it for a day. If you're not staying in the area, and come out, do the museum, stop for lunch, have a swim and a splash and a play, and make the most of Richmond. It's gorgeous.
Just got home and turned the aircon on. We're not plugged into power. Well, we're plugged into the truck. So yeah, aircon's on and running.
Aircon on. Cooling down the caravan. Let's have a look at the power system and see what it's doing.
Just a cheeky 900 watt load. 815 watts. 838 watts. Sorry about the focus there. Yeah, we've got 98% battery, so
we usually use about 20% overnight, running everything, I think, roughly.
Yeah.
20%?
25%.
25% overnight. So as long as we don't go below kind of maybe like 70.
An hour and a bit drive tomorrow there.
Yeah, but we don't want to run out of power overnight, is what I'm
right.
saying. So like we'll use it until like as long as we don't go below like 70%, then we can run over everything overnight without an issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Caravan's got its own battery as well.
Yeah, but we don't want to run out of power and the fridge and freezer in here stop working.
No.
With all that food in it.
No.
So
That won't happen.
no.
What's for dinner tonight, Amanda?
Beef brisket ragu with fresh pumpkin ravioli.
Basil and parmesan.
Alright, we've ventured back to Porcupine Gorge for the night. Left Hughenden just after lunchtime, drove the hour up here because we really want to check it out. So we decided to come up from camp for the night up here, have another night off grid up here, and hopefully the weather's beautiful and we can do a sunset or something at the gorge. It is possibly going to storm this afternoon because that's what it's been doing every afternoon, but we can always hope for a nice sunset or whatever at the gorge. If that doesn't happen, we can always do it tomorrow morning. So yeah, this is just the campsite here. This one's a drive-through site, which literally have just pulled up, so nothing set up but the awning to give us a bit of shade. There's a couple of drive-through sites, number 1 and number 3, and then there's a bunch of other like reverse in type sites, plus a heap of tent camping sites. And there's also like what are they called? Drop toilets. A couple of drop toilets as well. You do have to book online before you come, and you have to be self-sufficient with all your water and everything as well. There's no water, potable water, anything like that here either. Yeah, it's a nice spot. Have we got some dinner guests?
Yeah, don't know what they are.
No idea what they are.
They're very friendly though.
Caterpillars.
Paddy melons? No, they're not paddy melons.
Little wallabies of some sort.
Where's they going?
How's it going?
Good.
Put your sunnies up a bit further.
Where are we going today?
There you go.
To the gorge.
For a walk?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're all good?
Yep.
What have you got on? You got your hiking boots on?
Yep.
Nice.
And yogurt.
Hat and sunnies.
Yogurt, sunnies, hat.
Yeah. Yogurt.
Yogurt for the walk.
Good job.
Good job.
What do we reckon, Amanda? Are we all prepared?
I think
I
so.
got my Hawaiian shirt on. Amanda's got a normal wear.
Normal wear. My
I
normal
look
wear.
ridiculous. That's okay because I always look ridiculous.
Yeah.
It's just me.
Got everything
My
you
style.
need.
I'm old enough that I don't care about other people's style anymore.
Means you're old.
As everyone keeps commenting on my watermelon shirt, they think it's disgusting. I will keep wearing it. Just because.
Anyway.
I've got a good tip for you. National parks, and so they got the toilets like this. Check the toilet paper before you go in. Not for toilet paper, but because I was in one of these toilets and there was a full wasp nest in the toilet paper dispenser with like wasps in it. So you don't want to be pulling that out while you're stuck on the toilet. So check for that first. And spiders probably too.
Alright, the first bit brings you to the lookout down to the gorge, and then it's a 1.1k walk down into the gorge. Apparently it's quite an easy walk except for on the way back, because you got to go up. Porcupine Gorge. It's a pretty cool spot. Definitely bring your swimmers down because it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous, and flowing for a swim. Bit of a walk, but you know, some of the best things are after a bit of a walk, so gotta do it sometimes. I'm not looking forward to the walk back up though. Well, that was a first for us, wasn't it, Daniel?
Not first, but unusual.
Well, At first for me, I reckon, swimming in bra and undies. I don't think I've ever done it.
I have.
I'm a bit more prepared usually with swimmers. You always swim in your undies. But that was so refreshing and so beautiful and so much fun. It was great.
Swimming with the fish.
Swimming with the fish in the perfect temperatured water in this place.
And started flowing now because it's been raining a little bit, so it's flowing and clean and nice.
Couldn't have asked for it to be any better, really.
No.
All right, what are we up to now?
I don't think I got a photo. Like, I took some photos, but I'm not holding massive high hopes for them.
Yeah, it's a bit hard to capture.
Yeah, might come back for sunset or something.
It's a long
See how
walk.
we go.
What are we doing now?
Walking back.
Walking back up that hill.
Just want to point out the Parks and Wildlife. They put a sign at the top saying 1.1 kilometres down to the gorge. And then down the bottom of the gorge they put a sign saying 1.2 kilometres back up. Thank you. I had to stop and rest a few times, my ankles.
Alright, we are back on the road. We left Porcupine Gorge, drove straight down south towards Hughenden, topped up with fuel because that was the cheapest in the area, and then
165.9.
yeah, 165.9 self-serve, which is good. And then yeah, we're hitting the road another 2 hours south to Winton, of course, to keep working around on our little dinosaur trail that we're doing, which I'm enjoying a lot actually. So
It's a bit warm.
sorry.
It's a bit warm.
It is pretty warm. It's not as hot today as it's been the last few days. Definitely feel the difference in that 4 or so degrees less. The road is rather bumpy though. So it's a sealed road, but it's very bumpy. Anyway, we'll continue on to Winton.
Suspension seats.
Good morning. We are in Winton. We arrived here yesterday afternoon. Just chilled out, and we are off to have a wander into town and stop in at a mechanic, which seems to be a bit of a thing after a little while. If we go a couple of weeks without a mechanic, the truck tells us it wants a checkup. So we'll update you on that in a bit. But there was a massive storm last night, and look at our site. Who would have thought in Winton we'd be literally in a puddle? If I walk in it, it goes over the top of my thongs, so it's quite deep of a puddle. Get sloshy feet, and it's warm. It's really weird. It's like warm water. Look at this. This is the one of the camp kitchen areas, and the clothesline. It's like swimming, like a swimming pool. Anyway, yeah. So Daniel and I were woken up in the middle of the night because our front window on our caravan was letting water in. It was dripping on our heads. So that's another thing we need to investigate today as well. Being woken up at 4 AM was not the best, was it, Daniel?
That was amazing. So good.
And we could not work out how to stop the dripping of the water. So yeah, it's never happened before, so we need to look into that as well. Anyway, I'm gonna go and walk through this puddle into the truck and head into town. Just stopped in at Central Motors. So an update on that is that the day we were driving from Richmond back to Hughenden, I was driving, and when I put it in third gear it crunched a little bit, and I was like, oh, I must not have my foot on the clutch all the way, must have been concentrating, didn't think much of it. Then we went out to Porcupine Gorge, Daniel was driving, same thing happened again, but it was worse each time. Driving back to Hughenden and then down here to Winton kept happening. So it's crunching going into third gear. So we're just stopping in to see if someone can have a quick look at it. We've done our usual Iveco Facebook page group advice, and people are suggesting gearbox oil to check that, and also the synchros in it, so which are apparently an easy job, and you can buy the kit. So we're just going to get them to have a quick look, see what they think, and then we'll make a D from there as to how we go about getting it fixed. It's still drivable, we just, at the moment, we're skipping third gear, so going 2 to 4 up and then 4 to 2 back. I'm using the splits a bit more often and things like that, but obviously it's not ideal to have something like that. So keep you updated, let you know what happens.
We're at Winton, outback Queensland, and we're having pub at the
Pub.
lunch at the pub. Not pub at the lunch, we're having lunch at the pub.
Tadasals.
We've got a Hawaiian palmy and a Mexican palmy.
Yum, yum,
Yum,
yum.
yum.
Local mechanic that we're sitting across from pretty much recommended this as the best pub lunch. So
Why are we at the local mechanic?
I've already talked about that. Yeah, I already gave him the update about the mechanic scenario. So it's sitting over there waiting. We can watch whether he works on it or not from here, so we can just sit here and eat and drink until then. Getting our tourist on.
Look at us, how fancy are we? Bone conduction headsets
In
and
Winton.
devices with audio tours on them, and RFID chips to open the door at the museum. Look at this. You would think you're in like Singapore or something, not Winton.
It's pretty fancy.
Very fancy.
Anyway, we're going to do the Waltzing Matilda Museum.
It's pretty expensive though.
Yeah, it was like 50.
$32 an adult.
$32 an adult.
And then kids were like $12, $15 or something.
Yeah. We'll let you know if it's worth it though.
There once was a jolly swagman camp by a billabong under the shade.
Alright,
G'day.
finished.
Waltzing Matilda Centre.
Really, really interesting.
Yeah, what did you think of it, Aria?
It's great!
Oh, there you go. There's lots of little bits and bobs that you could watch and listen to and interact with and stuff like that, so that was really good. It was different, unusual, not really what we expected. Still really interesting about the Waltzing Matilda history and the story behind it, so yeah, really different for Winton anyway. The team at Central Motors have replaced the gearbox oil, had a look at the oil that came out of it. There's bits and pieces in there, but doesn't think it's too bad. So we're just going with this and seeing if it's fixed it or what happens. And if not, we'll take the next step because they can't do much more than what they've done to help us here. So anyway, I'm going back to the caravan park for a swim. Winton has a musical fence, so Ari and I just walked around to it. It's not far from the caravan park that we're staying at, the Matilda Caravan Park. It's right up the back of like the industrial kind of area. A bit random, but it's heaps of fun, we have to do it in muddy water, so we've kicked our shoes off. We're sitting on the log and we're sloshing around in the almost slipped over. Sloshing around in the mud, having fun playing the instruments.
Good morning, guys. Today we're off to the Age of Dinosaurs. It's going to be really epic. It's going to be really cool. I've heard some good things about it. We've booked a tour. It's one of the 4 dinosaur trail sort of passes that you have. And so one of them is for the Age of Dinosaurs. So we just called up and booked the tour. Let's go.
we just went through the March of the Titanosaurs, which is a brand new building that's just only 6 months old, which they've relocated the footprints found in the area into this building, keeping it at a perfect 23 degrees temperature with air conditioning, sheltered windows for light, etc. It's very state of the art.
To preserve the fossils.
Yeah, it's, as I said, preserving it at.
Yeah.
Yeah, to preserve. There's Daniel.
Hello.
Which is really cool. So they've got the sauropods, they've got
Turtles
and crocodiles, and they've got the other little chicken type one. Forgotten what they're called. They've got footprints from all different ones in there, which they've preserved and relocated. So
$3.2 million building. Thank you, Queensland
government. Yeah.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Yeah,
it's an amazing building.
The fact that it's only 6 months old is awesome. That's really cool.
Yeah.
So yeah.
The fact they moved that entire track site from 100 kilometres away to here
and put it back together.
She said they did it with like just a little trailer, like a 2-ton trailer.
Yeah, bit by bit.
Bit by bit. By hand,
3 years was it?
3 years to put it back together.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Pretty cool. Next adventure. Just finished the next part of the tour, which is the lab, fossil preparation laboratory, and yeah, the tour was pretty informative and got to see and touch a real femur bone of a, what are they calling it? Sauropod. One of the big ones with the big necks and the big tails and the massive ones, which is pretty cool. They're huge. Absolutely massive. But yeah, really informative about how the whole fossil collection started and all of that as well. And now we're just walking back through the desert. There you go. Just doing the short walk back, a couple hundred metres. Oh yeah, it's in front of me. A couple hundred metres back to the reception area for the last part of the tour.
Alright, we just finished at Age of Dinosaurs, and it was really good. It was about, sorry, I need to put my sunnies on. Sorry if that's a bit rude. It was about 3 hours all up, and it was really interesting. Some of it was a little bit not so interesting, but the big footsteps that they've got in the air-conditioned hall, they're really cool. And seeing the paleontologists, like volunteers and stuff, etching out the dinosaur fossils is awesome as well. So yeah, highly recommend that one. Probably bring some food with you. Food wasn't epic at the little cafe there, so yeah.
Good morning.
Hey, how's it going?
Don't get much. Another day in Winton means another dinosaur adventure. Today the last of the 4. Let me check we got our tickets still. Yep. So we got the 4 pass ticket thing. So we are heading 110 kilometres out of Winton to the Lark Quarry, which is the Dinosaur Stampede. So we've got the 11 AM tour booked. So we're heading off, and we're going to spend the day wandering around and maybe visit some things out this direction as well on the way back, and make a day of it. As you can see, there is lots of water around. As you can see, we're bouncing up and down because the road's not the best.
Because of the rains the other night, there's still a lot of water around standing, so the road out here is 4-wheel drive only apparently.
Yeah, so the sign said 4-wheel drive only along this road, and someone at the Age of Dinosaurs yesterday, one of the tour people said if it rains overnight, again, but we'd have to check if the road was open because of some washouts and stuff in the previous rain. It didn't rain overnight, so we didn't bother. We're just going for the adventure. Sorry about the bugs on the windscreen. We went out last night to do some star photos because Winton is known as a dark sky observatory thing. So we went out to capture the stars aligned for the Milky Way and no clouds and all that sort of stuff. So yeah, we had to drive at night, which meant lots of bugs on the windscreen. Alright, behind us
The trackways.
is the trackways of the only stampede of dinosaurs in the world so far to be discovered ever. Moment in time of when a large meat-eating dinosaur, the theropod, chased after the other Coelurosaurs and the other one I've forgotten, orthopod, right here, and then it got preserved through to some amazing geological natural flukes. Yeah. This is really interesting, and the fact that we had an amazing tour guide, Beck, who's explained and answered all the questions.
Very knowledgeable.
Very knowledgeable and
passionate.
And it made us keep going, what about, and
Even kids
and stuff. And for us to keep questioning, you know that we're into it, and it's a good tour.
Yeah.
So if you get the 4-pass thing, this is included in the 4.
It's a fair drive.
It's a fair drive, 110 k's out of town.
It's pretty awesome.
Yeah. It was really good. Yeah, really worth it. And like they show videos and stuff at the start to give you that really solid understanding before you walk in and see it, which is that sequence is really important for that understanding.
Really well done.
Yeah. Loved it.
2 thumbs.
What's happening?
Just making lunch for everyone.
Cool. Riveting.
Amanda just drove, so I'm doing lunch.
Yeah. We're at the long Waterhole, just a couple of k out of Winton. You can free camp here if you wish.
Pretty hot.
It's pretty hot, not much shade.
No pool, no
And
swimming,
yeah.
no aircon.
The stop. God, looking at all the negatives. Jeez Louise. It's a bit muddy at the moment because of all the recent rain that we've had, but apparently it's actually quite nice usually when it's not muddy. There is a fire pit here too that you can use. It looks like it, a little drum thing. But yeah, not far out of Winton, reception and all that stuff. Free camp if you wish.
Yep.
We've just stopped on the way back for lunch today. Somewhere different and scenic.